Hey guys, what's up? Today I'm going to be doing basically a review of what can possibly happen and what's most likely going to happen, and we're just going to talk about some things because the pretty market is like this. So let's get into it. I'm gonna change the thing. All right. So first, whoops. Okay, so first, the market can do a few things. A market can do a few things. It can go all the way down, and we'll have a recession greater than the worst recession, the Great Recession, in the 1920s, and it'll be worse than that. Or, by Easter, we should know, Easter to midsummer, if it's continuing on a downward trend, then we have issues. But if it starts to uptrend somewhere in there, we're not going to have the Great Recession, and the market's going to come back like it always did. And yeah, you just got to think about it that way. So I'm going to get the market. And the Q. Alright, so here's the market as a whole past day. You can see there's a lot of consolidation. So you can see that's mostly upward trending, and now there's just a huge downtrend. And then you saw that it hit the bottom, which it hasn't hit since the early 2018, and it started to push up again. Now that push up was short-lived. Now if it continued up here, let me just clear my drawing set. Now if it continued up like that, we'd be fine. But now it doesn't know what to do because it went all the way down. And it doesn't know what to do, and now it started to go up. But if it kept on going down at a slower rate till September, that would confirm that it'll be fine, and then it'll pump back up. But here's the thing, it bumped up, and it's probably going to go back down and do one of these. Hence, because there's a hard resistance line right here, it's probably not going to get past that, considering that it didn't last time and it didn't the other time. So set your alerts for this. Here, it's probably going to be something like this. Get this. Probably going to be there. Probably going to be somewhere in there. And then after that, you're going to need just drawing some resistance lines right now. I recommend you should do it the same. So now you want to go in and then set alerts, single, create alerts on every single one of these resistance lines. Right here.
The gentleman with the guitar, what would you do, sir?
You just need a couple to see where it's going, because you always want to pay attention to the market as a whole, because the market as a whole moves individual stocks. So if you can predict what the market is doing in the future, then you can predict what it'll do the next day, and that's good for day trading. So now I set all my alerts, and now I'm going to set an alert here. Oh, frick, I forgot. Create alert, single, at or below. Then I go back week, 3 years. There's resistance line right there. So at or below. now we're going to the bottom of 2018. So now these are all resistance lines. Keep forgetting. Create alert single. Okay. So now that I drew some resistance lines, you can see the huge trends on the way here. So these are the resistance lines for the market comeback. Now we can't even see the market comeback. You can see the stock RSI, it's already at the bottom and it just tried to pump up and we got a reverse. So the market is in a very questionable state. Is it going to continue up or is it going to bleed down? I don't have time frame. Max available, weekly. Okay, now you can see there's pretty big stuff going on. The market as a whole has been going up for a long time. So there's just a lot of what ifs. You can see it's the highest it's ever been, so it needed a pullback pretty much immediately in the first place. So create alert, single, mark above, at or below. Okay, so 2001, 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009. See now, and we can also take into what it did in the past. So now you can see the significance of this huge drop, because in 2008 it dropped 30% practically. At the lowest, the market dropped 35 to 40%. All right, in literally 6 days, it's already down 30%. Now the question is it going to continue to do that, or is it going to do that? So if we just, where's the slider? Max available. Alright, whatever. So it's a solid upward trend. So those are the resistance lines which we really need to pay attention to. So this is today. Here, let's go on the 4-hour chart. Alright, so you can see that I was expecting it to go way up, like pretty much way up, continuing on this trend up, but things are getting worse because more people are getting infected and they're dying. So, huge job loss, 6 million reported, it dropped a lot. Other stocks like MasterCard's pretty big, all spending is like going. For MasterCard, I think that it's going to start ramping up again, so I think that this is a head and shoulders pattern, so it might be going back down there, and it's on the trend line, like not a single one passes it besides a few, but there's still max a lot of resistance, and it pretty much might as well just be doing a head and shoulders anyways, because that'll show the market is growing again and we don't really have to worry about it. But there's also this thing. Basically every other indicator is showing different things. So let's go on the volume. I mean, it's trending down, but it could have a head and shoulders effect or a cup and handle. It could do practically all of these on the chart. The volume is getting higher and higher and higher, and it keeps spiking all of the sudden. So like big people like universities, and they invest. That's what causes this huge spike sometimes. That's what causes the huge spike. So you're seeing that the volume is saying people are getting on board and they're buying and investing in more stock as it's going on. So you can see it's going right there. It's normal. Let's go to TQQ. It's just the market. You can see volume has never been higher. So since the volume has never been higher, a lot of universities and institutions are trading it, and making the entire market go up. So this basically shows by the volume that a lot of people think that it's going to go up. Q. So a lot of people think that's going to go up. Same as everything. It's never been as high. I mean, right now it's low, but it has random spikes sometimes. So what I was just looking at was TQQ, which is the market inverse. I mean, the market with the market times 3. And then there's NQ, which is the market, the NASDAQ futures. So the chart says it's going to go down, and it could do a cup and handle. The volume of the people think that it's going to go up. The MACD is currently confused. It doesn't really know what to do, but it looks like it can do a quick reversal with the lines going like that in the next few days. And we could see another push-up, because this could have just been a pullback, this could have been the end of it, this could have just been the top, it could have been a head and shoulders. But all of those things suggest that it's going back up. And then the RSI. The RSI, it's in the middle, doesn't know where to go. I'm going to zoom out for a minute. The DMA, MACD2 lines, as it's also known as. This is a lot more like continuous. So no, it's responsive. So you can see that it's confused. It doesn't know if it really wants to push up, and it doesn't really know. So it's just like this. It's literally angled down. So it could do one of two things: just keep on going down or not. And then the volume, and then the stock RSI. I like to use it because it shows momentum, and you can also track when there's going to be pullbacks. And right now, it spiked at the top. It was also at the bottom, and now it's in the middle. It doesn't know what to do. So 2 of my indicators are saying that it's just a pullback, or it's going to do a head and shoulders move. And then the other indicators show that the universities and volume it's trying to go up. Everything's trying to go up except a few things. So if we look at some big players, MasterCard, Head and Shoulders, could be, possibly, TQQ. It looks like it's just running in this little tiny area for right now. So that's 3 times the market. Now it's doing the exact same thing as the market, but it really doesn't know. And that's the issue. Tesla. Let's just look at Tesla and see what's going on. So you can see that there's a huge and massive amounts of volume going into these huge corporations trying to pump up this share price. Let's go AAL. See that the US just gave them a huge grant to keep on surviving. So this could either do one of 2 things. So today is a pretty pivotal day. It could either do one of 2 things. It can either bounce here, go up, go down like that, and continue on this trend of not having any passengers. Or it can do, drawing set. Alright, or it can do this. It can just continue down, which it shows no signs of returning right now. Or you can do one other thing. You can bounce off this and continue up like a Head and Shoulders. There's just like a few things. So as you can see, like the labor layoff, if this takes more than like 2 to 3 months, we're gonna have issues. But right now, it's in a state where if it fails right now, we really don't know what to do. So right now, my suggestion to everyone is take everything out of the market. Don't go. Actually, not for everyone. The people that are having long-term stuff, don't buy it now. But if you're holding it like way back here, keep on holding it. But don't buy here, because it could have, there's like a very high likely chance, like 50%, that we could see it go down again. So don't buy, hold if you got your stuff before the coronavirus thing happened. And then if you just keep on going, if you're day trading, don't let it sit overnight. It's way too volatile to do that. You can see overnight, it started at end of the day at 44.15, and then started the next day at 46.30. So that was a gap up like 3% of the entire market. So that's insane. Look at how NQ. If you just hold it literally like overnight, it's like boom, it'll either gap down or gap way up. Here over this day, Thursday or Friday, it went down 1%, basically 0.5%, and then within the same day, it launched up basically 7.5% in the same day, and then it went down like 1%, but it continued up. So the market's too volatile to hold things overnight. You really don't want to do that, unless you're really just betting at this point. You can see it's kind of gone stagnant for a few days. Some ETFs have shut off, like WT. They have literally just turned off. They don't have any appeal anymore. Look at it over the day. Okay, well, that's pretty good. But look at the entire rest of the day. It doesn't literally do anything. It's just a few days ago. 5-minute chart. It's literally just stagnant for a bit. That's all it is. So it really doesn't know where it's going. Like, and DWT, those basically have just shut down. Even though UWT is the inverse of UWT, there was no loss here, which means the people that run this literally just don't care anymore. They just turn everything off. There's such low volume for anything to happen. It's like not even worth it. MasterCard, literally everything. It's pretty stagnant right now. You can see across the past 3 days, it's operated in a range of like 4%, and that's pretty much every single stock, besides a few. So if you're just counting market hours, it's only a little bit. It's not 4% always, but it's relative to the stock. So hold your money if you had it before the stock market crash. Don't worry, it will go back up sometime if you're long-term trading it. If you're day trading, if you're swing trading, sell now, and then if it goes back up, you can buy as soon as it goes up, but there's no confirmation of it going up right now if you're swing trading. If you are day trading, don't hold anything overnight. It's way too volatile for this. I would not recommend trading some days, so today I didn't trade. I missed out on pretty good opportunities like this. Let's just go to the chart. You can see that it was very, very perfect. Today, basically you could trade the stock RSI. You could buy here, sell there, buy here, sell there, buy here, sell there, buy here, sell there, and you'll get like a 1% gain in less than 20 minutes. That's a 2% gain, 2.6% gain, 2.6% gain, 4% gain, and it's stagnant for a little bit, but it basically just continued all the way up. You guys, perfect perfect opportunity there, but I just didn't follow any of my rules. Besides this one trade where it pushed up and then bounced off and left line, touched the top of the left line. That's the only trade today that I probably would have taken. I wasn't really looking at it at that time though. I mean, I was awake and I was looking at it, but I was busy doing work since I still have to go to school. I had it open on my laptop. I was like, I don't know. There's a lot of resistance lines here. So there's a resistance line here, here, here. And I did the math. It was like less than 1% risk. So if I'm going to risk less than 1%, it's not worth it to me. If there's less than 1% gain, and then there's also a 3.6% chance that it'll fail, then I'm not going to take it because that's a 1-4 odds. That'll fail, and also, basically, I didn't trade today because it was acting up weird. I really wish. My favorite stock right now is SQQQ. You can see that it basically all the way today did. Studies day trade group. You can see that all day it literally just bounced off this SMA line all day. Boom, boom. Perfect day for people, but I like to trade VWAP, so it's kind of hard for me to trade VWAP when it's doing something like that. I just find more quality in the VWAP, and I have a lot less risk when I trade with the VWAP. Every single time I trade with the VWAP, it's like,
this is a journey into sound.
Okay, but there's always a percent chance that it'll fail. What you did right here, I bet someone was like, yo, it just bounced off of this. It's probably just a pullback. No, it pulled back, it dropped like over 2%, did a head and shoulders. But if it just kept on dropping, what would have happened? So that's the main reason why I didn't trade today. It's just so whack. I'm just gonna go through my main. Okay, Tesla, not good to trade. Spice, it's okay to trade, but very volatile. And also a downward trend, and you don't want to trade down. You guys was up today, but kind of hard to see where the resistance lines are. AMRX, it's a downtrend. I don't know what to say about it. I don't like to trade not with the market. DWT, they don't work. Drip, it kind of followed it. I should have looked at this, but the gains were a heck of a lot. Should have done this. I really need to keep that on my watch list fast. Keep that on my watch list. So day trade. Alright. THC. It responded to the VWAP, but it's only 1% chance of gains. No thanks. Okay, so SQQ, okay, drip, good to trade, TQQ, okay, you guys, it went down today, because you guys went up. Okay, these are the ones kind of recommended by Ricky, SPX, same thing, you guys, it's an upward trend, but you can't really see the resistances. This one had too big of dips, so you couldn't really tell when it was going to fail. I mean, if you had a longer SMA line, you would have been able to see it, but my SMA stayed the same, so I didn't see it. This one, downward trend all day. LEBD, good, but kind of hard to trade because you can't see when it's going to break. The only trade that was taken is that one. Would have been a 2.6% gain. LABU. It just was down. I don't like to trade the downs. Grip, I know, is good. Gush. Should have traded this one. It's a good upward. It's just a good upward trend. It did a head and shoulders thing. I'm not sure if that can be counted as a head and shoulders thing, but if you got it at the very bottom, you would gain 13% today. Now that's pretty darn good. You guys, told you. Use that jag. I don't know. It did its head and shoulders thing, but I don't like to trade long-term head and shoulders. I mean, swing head and shoulders because it's way more risky. Carvana, no one's buying cars right now, so it's kind of rough to sell cars if you can't get out of your house. Lulu, nope. Macy's, upward trend on the day, probably people ordering from home. This is probably the best one today. Had a consistent upward trend. I think I would have sold here, and once it bought here, on the way up again. McDonald's, that was on my good for tomorrow plug. Pretty bad. By the way, everything that I'm skipping is bad, and I'll tell the best ones why. Okay, so this one this is a pretty good one. I mean, it touched the top VWAP, the bottom VWAP line, and then touched the top again. Perfect setup in the morning, but then it just had a huge drop. So you would basically ineffectively not trade from this point on, because it had a downward trend in the beginning, and it's really volatile thanks to the markets. Zillow was a pretty perfect trade. Stock to trade. You can see went up 2.38%, but it kind of didn't work on the VWAP line. I like doing stocks that do this. Come up here, first thing they spike, they come down, they reassess. People buy them up at the middle VWAP line, sell them at the top. That's pretty much all you have to do. Pretty good. So the only let me switch. Okay, so the only thing that you guys should take away from this is don't trade long term right now. And a lot of people are saying buy the dip. It could not be a dip, maybe. So you got to be very wary. Don't listen to anyone. Make up your own mind. Have your own thoughts. Don't let anyone else tell you what to do. Make up your own mind. If you see a good stock, buy it. If you don't buy it. Oops, my speaker just fell off. Don't be stupid. Don't make stupid decisions. This is Ogdn Ames. Thank you for watching.